It's always good to be here in Dubai at the Arabian travel market. Of
It's
course.
buzzing, isn't it?
It is absolutely buzzing. I mean, this is our third year. It's the first year I've seen it where the aisles are bursting apart. All the booth spaces are filled up. All the stores are open. All the spaces around this place is all used up. I mean, it's unbelievable.
Absolutely, and you were the pioneers originally coming here 3 years ago, as you said. And how important is now kind of being here for Jamaica?
It still is very fertile ground for us to grow. We always knew it was going to be a long haul experience in terms of how we develop, how we see the destination into a brand new space. It's a big space, as you well know. Lots of people, lots of opportunity, lots of resources, and so we're still finding our footing. I think we're now settled. We have a representative company in the marketplace now working for us. That's going to help because when myself or my team isn't here, it gives us a face. It also gives us the opportunity to reach areas in the marketplace that we don't have the relationships and they do. So we're happy with where we are at this time. We would have loved to been a little bit further along. Recovering from COVID affected not just us but our partners here as well, and everybody's just getting back to some level of pre-COVID normalcy, and that's a good thing to have because travel is on the rise again. The prospects for global travel over the next 5 years is up based on the index that's out there, and obviously we play in that space, so we have to be where the people are and where the decisions are made. So it's good to be here.
Absolutely, and where the investment is.
Yep.
You okay to share a little bit on where you are on the connectivity journey?
Again, it's a building block. I mean, Emirates still has us listed in their sales system, so you can find Montego Bay with Emirates. But there are lots of connectivity routes out of Dubai, out of Abu Dhabi, out of Turkey and the Levant countries, out of Qatar. You can find connecting flights over the US, connecting flights over London, connecting flights over Germany. And that gives us a route, one-stop route into Jamaica, which is still pretty flexible, useful, and we're going to continue to massage those. It's always going to be a hard sell for a non-stop immediately. Load factors will take a time to grow, but we see that there are opportunities building. Barbados is also here, and they're like us being very aggressive. So maybe there's an opportunity to do some work together with some of the airlines from here in terms of shared destination flying. So there's these kinds of opportunities, and unless you're on the ground here, which is why we keep coming, you don't get to make those deals. You don't get to make those opportunities work the best way they can. So we're going to continue to do that and continue to stay focused on growing new markets. This business is so dynamic now. Where you think you have great market share, snap of a finger and something goes off and it changes. So you have to be at the cutting edge, really at the leading edge of what makes travel work, and that's connectivity.
And diversification critical, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely.
And let's just sort of expand the kind of the universe a little bit there on the markets point. So tell me a little bit about sort of what's going on elsewhere in the world.
Oh Jesus, there's so much going on. Latin America is ablaze right now in terms of opportunities for us. We're going to be making some announcements in the coming weeks on some new routes out of South America. And we have additional conversations going on deep in South America with new airline flying. So it's a year for expansion for us. I think we've talked about that in the last 12 months, that we were focused on building the right opportunity blocks in Latin America, in India, and here in the GCC. We've done that, and we're now at the table with all our partners trying to finalize those arrangements Most of them will kick in late this year, early into next year. But that sets us up nicely for the winter tour season. But I think it also sets us up at the start of a new fiscal next year, so that we'll be able to forecast our growth into our resources properly. Because it's one thing to have opportunities, but if there's no resources to back that opportunity, it kind of falls on its face. So it's all about timing. This business, as you always hear me say, it's about timing. It's about making the right relationships, building the right relationships, and making them work for you. And I think we've spent a lot of time in the last 2 years post-COVID building relationships, but also building new relationships. And so we're leaning on a lot of those relationships now to ensure that Jamaica continues to be focused on growth, but also focused on where we go next and what we do.
And of course, I need to ask you about what's going on the island.
I'm sure Minister was quite exhaustive on it, but what's exciting is that we have over 2,000 rooms opening up this year. That's exciting because it's always great to have new product. It refreshes the market, it refreshes the destination. We have another 2,500, 3,000 rooms coming next year. So that's close to 5,000 rooms in 2 years, in two fiscal span. That's exciting. And then there's our investment partners have stayed true to Jamaica. So there's another 10,000 rooms coming in the next 5 years. So, we're expanding our footprint. More importantly, we're expanding brands. We're bringing new brands in, which in itself refreshes the destination, gives us a new look, new feel, attracts new travelers who are brand oriented and brand specific. Gives us an opportunity to tap into those marketplaces. And so from a room stock perspective, growth is there. From an infrastructure perspective, lots of things happening with the airports, expansions, enable us to take larger planes, which means long-haul destinations, we have a great opportunity to encourage flying. That opens up the opportunity to do what I'd like to call hubbing Jamaica, or making Jamaica a hub for the rest of the region. Gives us a different side of the business to contemplate with. So there's lots of interesting things happening. There's also increased flying regionally. You've heard me talk about that over the years. Caribbean has really done a great job with adding new gateways across the region and going where rooms are being built. That's giving them relevance, and it's giving us opportunity to move people around the region, one, but also encourage travel to Jamaica from the region. And that our own asset of culture and entertainment and events is driving a lot of that traffic as well from near shore. So we're doing some interesting things, connecting all the dots and making sure that the things that we've talked about over these last 3 to 4 5 years are in fact coming to bear on the growth that we're seeing. First third of the year is done. We're up almost 5% on last year, which was a banner year for us. Notwithstanding all the challenges that are in the marketplace economically, whether in the US up north or in Latin America down south or in the Caribbean, we're still growing. And that's when you grow through the hard times, it paved the way for when things get a little bit more settled, which never really happens, but you can hope for. So we're excited that we are where we want to be, but we're not comfortable. We're not going to be lackadaisical with what we've always done, which is to be aggressive and to make sure that we manage our relationships well.
And of course, very, very soon, you're going to be acting in that role of Caribbean hub and welcoming the world to Marketplace.
Absolutely. Marketplace is up on us. It's 2 weeks from now. It gives us an opportunity, as you say, to welcome the rest of the region to Montego Bay, but also to welcome the rest of the world from a buyer perspective to Montego Bay. We're having a special group of new buyers from really all over the world: Eastern Europe, Latin America, Africa, Asia, a few people from North America to marketplaces here. It's probably about 50 of them that are coming to the destination. They've never sold Jamaica before.
Wow.
But they're so interested that they want to come to marketplace. I think some of them have never sold the Caribbean before, and they're seeing the Caribbean as a new place for opportunities for themselves. So marketplace will be very interesting this year because of some of those factors. We've put a lot of effort into ensuring that we get all the pieces right to make it special, but more importantly, to make it relevant for travel. And I think our partners in CHTA and our partners in the JHTA, the Jamaica Hotel and Tourist Association, have been very facilitating with us as the destination marketing agency. And we're looking forward to having maybe the biggest marketplace ever. The numbers will tell when we get closer. We're certainly pushing for it. It will be a good distinction to have for Jamaica.
Thank you so much for giving us so much time today.
Absolutely, anytime.